This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 13. I want to start off by giving our praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to our venerable apostles and others at Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. Alright, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. Alright, and just wanted to go into a quick lesson. Alright, and we in those times where I actually did a lesson a couple of days ago. Alright, going into the concept of reincarnation. Alright, and we focused on the three cities, alright, that Yahushua had cursed. And those inhabitants of those three cities are back here again. And those three cities were Capernaum, Bethsaida, and Chorazin. Okay. And those cities are reincarnated back here in Babylon the Great. Okay. And ultimately, Capernaum is actually talking about Babylon the Great, because the same people, the same spirits, all right, are back here again. And they're living exactly the same way that they were back during the time of Yahushua. Okay, then you fast forward to the time of the apostles. All right, you had wicked men who rose up and tried to come against the doctrine. Okay, so in the past video, all right, we were going into Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, the 9th verse. All right, specifically focusing on the times that have been, the things that have happened. All right, will happen again, and they're happening now. Okay, so we're all reliving, all right, different chapters and different scenes of this movie. Okay, and we're at the stage where, just like the prophecy says, that at the end you're gonna have these kind of spirits, whose mouths must be stopped. Okay, you got a whole lot of stuff going on in Israel now. You know, every single day it's something controversial. All right, if it's not the, King David controversy, then it's the new covenant controversy, right? It's always something. Jake always got some type of controversy going on. All right, and you notice when you look at it spiritually, it is out of these controversies where you get the clarification. That's when you get the truth. Okay, the Lord uses these controversies to bring attention to something. All right, Romans 15:4 tells us that everything written aforetime was written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have what? Hope. Okay? So everything written aforetime was written for our learning. So the Apostle Paul was telling Timothy, all right, which we just read in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 13. We're gonna continue on the rest of the chapter. Okay, just a couple more verses. And then we're gonna go into an example. All right. Things that were written aforetime, written for our learning. We're going to go into something that we can learn from, okay, on how to conduct ourselves in this walk. We cannot be in this truth and carry a Babylonian mindset. It's not going to work. Okay, you must understand honor. You must understand respect. Okay, you must understand order first and foremost. Okay, you want to be in an army of the Lord. You have a chain of command, okay? And it starts with Yahushua. And only the spiritual man will understand that. Okay, the carnal man will always look for something carnal and harp on that continuously. And personally, I'm watching a video, okay? Because the spirit will lead you to do certain things. So you're watching a video, you're watching how a guy's moving, what he's saying, and you go 11, 12 minutes into the video, ain't no precepts being brought out. You're like, man, what's going on? It's just personal attack after personal attack. This is not what this truth is for. Okay? We're on a mission, and as men of the Lord, all right, we have to conduct ourselves a certain way. Okay? So this is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 14. It says, I'll start off at 13. It says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Okay, this doctrine is what? This truth, this 100% truth that we have. Okay? And that's been given and ordained by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And we believe through the Spirit that that's the same doctrine that was being taught back when we were back in the Roman Empire. Okay? It says, neglect, verse 14, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, right? That the spirit of the prophet is subject on the spirit of prophecy. So like the spirit of a prophet is subject unto the prophet. Okay. It says, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery, meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Okay. It says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Okay, and that is a perfect precept for, let's get this real quick. Okay, it lines up perfectly with giving diligence. Okay, giving diligence. Let's get that. Okay, 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 10, it says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. Okay, so diligence meaning what? You're growing in what you've been taught, right? Which is the truth. There's no other way. Okay, there's no other way. Now, I want to go into this this historical lesson, okay, on how the Lord deals, because remember, I understand that, we walk in this walk, but there's a spirit behind this. You know what I'm saying? We don't just get up and just do whatever. If you're not called into this truth, all right, if you're not a cast in the movie, you don't appear in the movie. But even in your appearance, there's a role, right? There's a role you play. Okay, you're either the good guy or the bad guy, or you're part of the good guys or the bad guys, right? So it's the same thing. These movie directors get these themes, these narratives, they get it all from the scriptures. Okay? The ultimate theme is good versus evil. All right, that's the best theme you can ever work with. Okay? And we're going to read something about the theme of good versus evil, and we can see those spirits are back here again. Okay? So let's jump right into it. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dothan and Abiram, the son of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. So they were up there, right? They were known as, oh, you guys are the heads, and so on and so forth. You know how Jake is, right? Verse 3, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. Right? So just like these guys are saying, man, you guys are listening to men. You following men. We could all work our way into this truth, man. We don't need no men. We don't need to be following after no man. We could do all good by ourselves. Right? Verse 4, and when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord Yahweh will shew who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen, he will cause to come near unto him. Right? And that's ultimately talking about who? The elect. And within the elect, you have those who are chosen to rule over the elect, or ultimately to rule over the nation of Israel, and ultimately to rule over the whole entire planet, the whole entire world, all these other nations. Okay? So being joint heirs with Yahushua means that you're going to have a select few men on this earth that have been blessed with the ability to rule over this earth and to be what? To be joint heirs with Yahushua, ultimately. Okay, and that's the 144,000 men, all right, written in the book of Revelation, the 7th chapter. And we know the number 7 represents what? Completion. Okay, so when this movie is completed, when the movie's done, at the end of it, you do see 144,000 kings that are being what? Crowned to inherit, all right, the kingdom. Okay, and that kingdom is going to be right here on earth. Okay, and you're going to see Israelite men, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American men who have been what? Blessed with new bodies. They're new bodies, man. So let's continue. It says, verse 6, this do, is Moses speaking now, this do, take you censers, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord Yahweh tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord Yahweh doth choose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. So he was like, you niggas do too much fucking talking, man. Y'all niggas always want to say some shit, and there's always some new shit with y'all niggas. We'll see about that. Right? Because Moses wasn't trying to hear none of that shit. All right? You got a lot of guys now who are in that spirit. Okay? They always got some new controversy. Oh, no, this guy's a bad guy. This guy is this, and this guy is that. And how about we stick to the scriptures and let the Lord deal? You know? There's way too much of this constant bickering. We're men. And we're sent on a mission. The most important thing is the mission. You know? When you lose track of why you're here, then the Lord has no need for you because you're not focused. You know? You could run around and push this whole, we're doing the work of the Lord, but there's a way to do the work of the Lord. As we're reading, right? The Lord doesn't just accept anything. No, it has to be done a certain way. And if you fail to do that, you can't count yourself as part of the house of David and keep running around joking around, because the Lord will kill you. He'll get you up out of there as we're reading. Okay? There's a certain decorum that the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua requires. Yahushua said, what? Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. That is what the Most High is requiring. Perfection. Now, we through our faults, of course, we can't reach perfection. So the next best thing is what? Excellence. But where we fall short, we ask Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua through the graces and mercy of Yahushua to what? To save us. Right? Now, if you go against everything that the Lord said, cursing brothers, you wishing death upon brothers, and all these little things, you gotta understand, you take this thing way too personal. You're putting yourself above and beyond the mission. That's a problem. Okay, that's the problem. All right, so let's keep reading. It says, Numbers chapter 16 and verse 8, it says, and Moses said unto Korah, hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi, seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the power of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. Meaning what? Is it a small thing? Is it a light thing to you that the Lord has actually called you out of the world to understand his knowledge, to know, all right, the scriptures, and to teach it to Israel? Right? Is it a small thing to you? I mean, that's a big deal, right? And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood too. So you don't measure yourself as good enough to do the work of the Lord. You want more? What more do you need? Every man has a role to play. What more do you need? Right? And the spirit of jealousy in a lot of men is showing. And that's all signs that the Lord is going to what? He's going to do a lot of weeding out. You see, he's about to do a lot of weeding out. Okay? Sifting. All right, and that's the spirit that's been over the past month or 2-3 weeks or so. All right, the Lord is showing that, really since the turn of the so-called calendar. All right, today's the 13th, so-called Friday the 13th, and the Lord is what? He's showing the signs of he's about to start sifting in a very miraculous, marvelous way. Okay? So, continuing, Numbers chapter 16, verse 11, it says, "For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord Yahweh. And what is Aaron, that he murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness? Except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us." So he's like, what? It's not enough that you brought us over here to kill us? You took us out of Egypt, to the land that floweth with milk and honey. You took us from there, and you brought us into this wilderness, basically to kill us. That's not enough? So you know, no, that's not enough. You just want to rule over us now. You want to what? Be altogether prince over us, huh, Moses? "Moreover, thou hast not brought us into the land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards. Will thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up." So they were being rebellious. That, man, we didn't gotta listen to you. What, you brought us over here, you telling us all these different things, man? Fuck out of here. You said, oh, last year was gonna be the year. You be saying that these prophecies, this the year of this prophecy, and that's, well, guess what? All that shit ain't happened. So y'all not the men of the Lord. Well, what about the real things that actually do matter? Like the MOTB, right? Like the name of the Heavenly Father, right? Like World War III is about to pop off real soon, because World War III has already started, whether you knew it or not. It just hasn't gone nuclear yet. It just hasn't hit the mainstream yet. It just hasn't hit the point where the Lord wants it to be known out yet. You see? So let's continue. It says, verse 15, "And Moses was very wroth, and said unto the Lord Yahweh, Respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. I ain't done no wrong to them, Lord. I ain't take nothing from them, none of their cattle, none of their sheep, none of their asses. I ain't done no wrong to them, Lord." And Moses said to Korah, "Be thou and all thy company before the Lord Yahweh, thou and they, and Aaron tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord Yahweh every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer." And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord Yahweh appeared unto all the congregation. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O Yahweh, of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So the Lord was telling Moses and Aaron, telling them, you people move from among these people, these guys. Okay? Get away from these guys. All right? Because they've been reserved for judgment. The Lord is about to show you. All right? So move away from these guys. Don't listen to these guys. All right? They're not in the right spirit. And the Lord is not dealing with them. That's what he's saying here. Okay? They thought the Lord was dealing with them. Oh, you're not the men of the Lord. We are the men of the Lord. That weird energy. That's what we're reading here. Right? And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. So they were all in one spirit. You got guys who, they got the bishops following you. Y'all just follow. Y'all just follow. Well, you're in a discipleship. You know, you can't be rebellious when you're in the army. You gotta listen to those who are above you. You see, especially when you're in an army that is undefeated, which is the army of the Lord. I mean, you have to follow orders. You can't just come in as you are. And that's one thing a lot of guys don't understand. Okay, there's order. You have to follow the order. Okay? When people fall out of order, what happens? They get terminated. They get kicked out. They get booted out. Okay? So continuing, and we're gonna see what happens to these guys who fell out of order. All right, and trying to be in the Lord's army, because the nation of Israel is known as the host. All right, is the Lord's host. All right. So continuing, it says, and he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side, and Dathan and Abiram came up, and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord Yahweh hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them in mine own mind. I have not done them of mine own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua hath not sent me. So he said, watch, right? If these guys, all these guys over here, if they die the regular death, they go get old, and then whatever happens, old age, and then they've reached their time, and then they pass away, then that's the, regular death. Then that means the Lord did not send me. But, let's read. But if the Lord Yahweh make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up with all that appertaineth unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord Yahweh. Right? So the Lord is going to open up this ground. I'm being very specific. In front of all the congregation of Israel, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will open up the ground, open the whole earth, and swallow them up. Everything that they have. Right? And they go down into the pit, then you know, right, that they have pissed off the Lord. Okay? By coming at me like that, they have pissed off the Lord, man. They're coming at the men of the Lord who've been ordained by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You have provoked the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 31, it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. It opened up. And the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertaineth unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed up upon them. And they perished from among the congregation. They died. They were out of there. Just like that. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, oh shit, lest the earth swallow us up also. We out of here. Fuck all this shit. Right? Jake was out. Yo, oh no, I don't want to be a part of this shit. Yo, y'all seen this? Oh no way. Right? And there came out a fire from the Lord Yahweh, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. And the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for a covering of the altar. For they offer them before the Lord Yahweh, therefore they are hallowed. And they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers, wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Lord Yahweh, that he be not as Korah and as his company, as the Lord Yahweh said to him by the hand of Moses. Okay, now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, through Yahweh Shai, we don't have to do these sacrifices like back then, where you needed the high priest, all right, to do these sacrifices and so on and so forth. All right, the burnt offerings and so on and so forth. Yahweh Shai is that sacrifice for the elect. He is that atonement for the sins of the elect, because you got to understand that every sin you commit, you have to atone for those sins. Some atonements are by death and others are not. Okay, death as in not the death of the animal per se, but the death of the person, meaning sins that are committed unto death. Okay, for example, adultery. Adultery is a sin that when committed is punishable by death. But we live in a world that we cannot uphold those kind of laws. The biblical laws are not what the world lives by. Okay, and that's all done by design to show and highlight that we are indeed living in the time known as the common era. Okay, that the time of what? Evil. Okay, but in the next kingdom to come, to highlight that we're actually in the time of righteousness, everything is going to be ruled over by the laws that you see in the scriptures, the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave to the children of Israel, and it will be upheld, it will be enforced, okay, over the whole entire earth. And that's what's going to bring that perfection. That's what we're here to tell you. Okay? So that's gonna happen, and all of Israel, okay, will be made perfect. But it starts with the elect. Okay, and that's going into what? The second covenant. Okay, that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said he will make with the house of Israel. Okay, that's a prophecy that is yet to happen. Okay, let's get that. Okay, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 27. It says, a new covenant. Okay, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. Okay, and it says, and it shall come to pass, like it says, that like as I have watched over them to pluck them, or pluck up and break down, and to throw down and to destroy and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right, I believe that's in Hosea, the 6th chapter. Okay, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. All right, that the Lord said what? That he has torn. All right, let me see if I can pull that up real quick. All right, this is the book of Hosea, chapter 6 and verse 1. It says, come and let us return unto the Lord Yahweh, for he hath torn and he will heal us. He hath smitten and he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us, and the 3rd day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh, all right, Bashem Yahushai is going to do that, and that's all part of the second covenant when we are made perfect. Okay, and the laws are put in our inward part. Okay, Jeremiah 31 and 28, and it shall come to pass that like as I have watched over them to pluck up and to break down and to throw down and to destroy. So the Lord is the one who put us in these conditions. Okay, all right. Why? Because we broke the first covenant. Okay, so as a form of a punishment for the first covenant, this is what he did. He broke us down, he destroyed us and afflicted us. So will he watch over us to build and to plant, saith the Lord Yahweh. Okay, going back to what he said, what he will bring back the captivity of Israel and the captivity of Judah. Okay, it says, in those days they shall say no more, the fathers have eaten a sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. But everyone shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall set on edge, or shall be set on edge. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right, the two kingdoms are being brought back together. All right, like it tells you in Amos, the 9th chapter, the 11th verse. Okay, the Lord is bringing back the tabernacle of David, okay, which is the whole house of Israel, okay, the 12 tribes, okay, as in the days of old. And it's going to be ruled over by who? Yahushua on earth, okay? Not according to the covenant that I made with your fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, all right, going back to the time of Exodus and the 40 years in the wilderness, okay, which my covenant they break, all right, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. And when you read the book of Deuteronomy, okay, the 28th chapter tells you about the curses and the blessings of what happens if you break or if you adhere to these laws, statutes, and commandments, okay? And when you trace all these curses, because what ended up happening, all right, as a result of breaking those curses is what we're living in today, being known and called so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, rather than Israelites, okay? And going through those curses that only us face, and that's it. That's how we know who we are in these last days, okay? Verse 33 says, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts. All right, and the laws are not in our inward parts, because if they were, we will not die. Okay, understand that. If the laws were already in our inward parts, we will not die. We will be made perfect. Okay, we wouldn't have to be taught the laws. It will already be there. And if you don't know the laws, you potentially are breaking them without even knowing. Yeah, we're not gonna have a chance to do that because we're gonna be programmed, all right, to follow these laws 100%. Okay, and write it in their hearts, in our minds. Okay, so we don't have to wear the phylacteries, man. We wouldn't have to wear the phylacteries because it's already gonna be within us. All right. And will be their God, their power, and they shall be my people. Okay? And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor. All right? So we're not going to be doing exactly what we're doing now. These videos, all right, going out there in the highways and byways and teaching, telling Israel to repent because the destruction is coming. How the hell are we going to be in the second covenant if the destruction is yet to happen? If the deliverance is yet to happen, like we haven't seen Yahushua yet. He is bringing the second covenant. He is basically the one who ushers it and sanctions it, basically. Okay? Man, bro. And every man his brother, saying, know the Lord Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them. And all of Jake don't know the Lord. All right? You got Jake out here playing games, man. If they really knew the Lord, they will fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, Jake don't got fear in the Lord, so you know they don't know the Lord. But that's why the fear is coming. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, all right, from the west. All right, saith the Lord Yahweh, for I will forgive their iniquity and I will remember their sin no more. Okay, so this happens after the destruction that's coming, not before. Okay, because you know how many Israelites are going to be destroyed when the fire hits, when the Lord says it's time to unleash. Okay, Revelation, the 7th chapter, the beginning verses, where it talks about the angels are being told to hold up the wind, all right, from destroying this earth, the trees, the sea, all right, the people, and so on and so forth. All right, that's all because of what? Iniquity, because of sin. All right, but if the Lord says He's going to forgive it, then He's not going to destroy it, but He's going to destroy this place. So clearly, America is not going to be forgiven. All right, America's not going to be forgiven, man. Okay, but yeah, man, I just wanted to go into that real quick. All right, just to show you that, look, man, the same things that were happening back in the day, all right, is the same thing that's happening again. Okay, you got the same spirits coming back, both right hand side and left hand side. Okay, both right hand side and left hand side, man. All right, but we through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, we're gonna stand firm. Okay, and we're gonna keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. Okay, we're going to keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, man. All right. But I'm going to leave it off there, Lord, when you've been edified. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.